Now loading podcast, period.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Podcast Period, the internet's stupidest podcast. My name is Ben, and with me today, as always, is my co-host, David.
What's up, guys?
I just had to play around with that. I don't know how it sounded because I've been playing around with it where I can hear my voice, and it's like one of those voice feedback loop things where it makes you sound drunk, so hopefully it sounded at least interesting, if not decent.
It was easy to hear you. So it wasn't mumbled up garbage. So I think it'll be okay.
Cool. Works for me. All right. So as always with this podcast, we've got some news topics to run through. We've got a couple discussion topics, and then we're gonna watch through some trailers. But first, on to the news. So our very first topic today, which is a big one if you consider the companies that are involved in it, Apple and Google have detailed a plan to track COVID-19 at scale. COVID-19, if for those of you who haven't heard, if you're living under a literal rock or in like the middle of nowhere like Jared Leto was for 14 days a while ago.
You have to be under a rock if you don't know what this is at this point.
No joke. COVID-19, aka coronavirus, is a virus has been quarantining everybody and their mother's brother. My state is under a stay-at-home order. I don't know, did your state put out a stay-at-home order too?
We did, and we actually just extended it today, so I think it goes through until the end of the month now.
I think that's what ours is. Apparently, that Apple and Google are working together on a smartphone platform, which I assume is basically just an app, to track the spread of the coronavirus.
You know the world has ended if these two are working together.
Yeah, for real. Nobody... First, it was the theatrical movies going to streaming. That was like sign one that something was going wrong. And then Apple and Google are working together now. God help us all. So they detailed their plan, which basically boils down to it basically boils down to like a Bluetooth low-level transmission sort of thing. So I think you have to, it seems like you have to download the app, but if somebody else that you've talked to has downloaded the app, or somebody that you've been nearby has downloaded the app and you or they have been diagnosed with COVID-19, apparently what happens is the phones communicate periodically, and they kind of like give each other identification keys. So it's theoretically, from what I can tell, it's theoretically foolproof as far as the privacy is concerned. But so the example they give here is that two people meet and have a 10-minute conversation, and then one of the people was positively diagnosed for the coronavirus. And because their phones were near each other and they were exchanging information on that they were near each other, the other person in this conversation now gets a notification. It's like, oh, this person that you talked to was just diagnosed with the coronavirus. You need to go get tested. So it seems really interesting, to say the least. And surprising that Google and Apple have to work together to come up with this. But I assume the reason that they're having to work together is because Apple knows their smartphone platform better than anybody, and Google obviously knows their OS inside and out. So they're working together to make sure that everything works together, inter-OS and inter-whatever, without any hiccups.
Sounds awesome and amazing. So there's a couple of things to note. Apple and Google are providing assurances, including explicit user consent is required, is what they're saying. So if you do not opt into this, then you should not have to worry about anything. It's not supposed to collect any type of identifiable information or user location data. So it's not supposed to be doing GPS or anything. It's
the only, like I was saying, the only way it knows what people have been around you is like this personal identification keys that get sent back and forth between the phones. No location data, no personally identifiable information or anything is sent between the two devices other than this random string of numbers and letters that identifies this as this phone or this person, quote unquote,
Yeah. But it's totally random, so.
Exactly.
Shouldn't be able to pull anything out of this or do anything. I think I hate Big Brother scenarios, but I think if this is totally anonymous like they say it is, the information is not leaving the phone in any sort of way, it's not being stored on servers and all that crap, I think it's a win-win. I don't see how you could possibly think that this is a bad idea once you've opted in. I mean, if you're going to be the person to opt in, then if you don't want to, you don't have to. It's that simple.
Exactly.
This is the perfect thing. It doesn't force you into anything. So if you're okay with it, then you're okay with it, and everything else beyond that seems like it's on the hunky-dory side of things. So what the hell could go wrong? If you don't want it, then don't use it. It's that simple.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Everything in life could be like that.
No joke. For real. Sheesh.
All right. So, yay. They're working together.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else we can say about it. It is super interesting to see these two gigantic tech companies working together on something like this, though. So,
yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't turn out to be some sort of like nightmare Skynet situation or something like that, you know?
God. Did they say when they might be able to launch this? Like, are we talking like really soon?
I didn't see anything about it. I assume we'll get updates here soon.
Speaking of updates, thanks for that transition, Ben.
Hey.
It's a minor thing, but I think it's something that some people might still have a headache with. Google, in their newest version of Android 11, Android R, whatever they're going to... probably just straight up 11. I don't think we're going back to...
Oh, yeah. No, we're not. I don't think they're doing letters anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I think that day has sailed. Thank goodness. Although Raspberry Pi sounds good right now. They are adding, or I should say forcing, new developers on new devices to use their seamless update feature. It's actually been on Android since 7 Nougat days. So it's been on there a while. It's just never been forced into using it. It gives you the seamless updates in the background without your phone going into some kind of boot recovery screen, which I think is the dumbest thing ever. And I know I've had phones do it since 7, so I'm not entirely sure when I had a phone that stopped doing it. But I think it was very recent that I noticed that it no longer forced you to restart the phone and lose access to it for like 20 minutes while it's downloading and installing this update.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really good idea, and I want to know, when is Apple going to do this? Because as far as I know, they still go into a boot screen on theirs, and it takes a while to install their updates. The only time that I've seen my phone have to do that is like a full-on system update, like a security update or whatever. Everything else is in the background, and even then, my phone takes all of about maybe 5
maybe at the most 10 minutes to load everything up and get me back into it. So
yeah, I mean, it does all the downloading and pretty much all the installing in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only like the very last thing makes you restart the device.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a good thing. They're doing it by just using separate partitions. There's going to be an A partition and a B partition. So you can be running A while B is being updated, or vice versa. This should also help anybody who accidentally has a corrupted download be able to quickly get back into the phone and just try it again, which I think is good. So
yeah,
yay. Now it's going to be standard. There's nobody who's going to be able to not implement this. So, cheap Chinese manufacturers, beware.
No, if
No more
only
screwing
Windows
around.
could do something like this.
Exactly. Why can't they do this instead of having it update every 30 days? Oh, we need to shut your computer off while you're in the middle of a blessed game. Or in a blessed conference call with your boss or something. Oh, hey, update. Time to shut down.
Or, a 3-4 hour video render.
That too.
Not speaking from personal experience or anything. At least not here lately.
I was going to say, it didn't do it to you lately, has it?
No. Thank God, no.
Uh,
All right. Speaking of Google again, for those of you who are super into Google Stadia or for whatever reason, you if you don't have it already, you can get 2 months of a Stadia Pro subscription for free. Isn't that crazy? Stadia Pro. So you can play your AAA games, your 5 AAA games that they offer on your laptop.
by streaming.
Yeah.
With that glorious internet
crazy.
connection that you probably don't have because, well, doesn't really matter how fast your internet connection is if they can't get their servers to talk to you nicely, but
Exactly.
hey, I'm not judging. You think
So if
they're
you
having
really-
a hard time market this if they have to give 2 months free in order to get
no
people
joke.
to sign up?
I'm looking at the games. The game list is literally like I could fit it on both my hands.
Oh, goodness.
That's how many games they have out right now.
Oh.
This is on Stadia Pro. So they have Destiny 2, Grid, Guilt, SteamWorld Dig 2, SteamWorld Quest, Hand of Gilgamesh, Serious Sam collection, Spitlings, Stacks on Stacks, and Thumper.
Is it bad
I
that
only
I only
know about
recognized
2
one?
of those games. Yeah. I know Destiny 2 and Grid.
I knew Destiny 2.
I take that back. I knew Serious Sam too. But that's it.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so yeah, I guess if for those people who've really been holding out for Stadia Pro, you now got 2 months free, and they've also launched a free tier. So you can play games at up to 1080p 60 FPS. So crazy.
With stereo sound.
Mm-hmm. Stereo sound.
Oh, goodness.
The best sound.
All right.
Yeah. So, anyways, this is stupid. You shouldn't do it unless this is like literally your only option, because there's much better game streaming platforms out there. And if you have a computer already, then there's no point in doing this.
Yeah, see, that's the exact reason why I don't do this, because I think my computer's a little bit better than Google. Oh, sorry, Google, did I say that?
That's not true, David. You don't have Quadro GPUs in your computer.
I guess this is true.
So stupid. All right. Anyway,
On to the next thing. Let's talk about a different company for once. How often do we get to talk about Samsung?
I think the last time we talked about Samsung was when we were still making fun of how delayed the Fold got.
Oh, jeez. Wow. That's been a while.
It's been a long time.
Update. They finally launched the Fold.
Woo!
Don't know how that went, but hey, whatever. Now we get to hint at something else that they've unfortunately had to delay. Now we're talking about their 3nm process, which is going to go head-to-head, hopefully, maybe, with TSMC's 3nm process. Unfortunately, due to coronavirus, it's being delayed. Production is delayed until 2022, and they was hoping to have it out by this year, at the end of this year or early next year. So,
oh man,
they just lost their huge advantage lead. Apparently, they couldn't get any gear and equipment installed because, well, crap happens. So it doesn't even matter if you're a multi-billion-dollar company. Apparently, a little virus is going to delay you as well. So anybody stuck at home, can't get anything done, don't worry, you're not alone. Even the big guys are having trouble right now.
Oh yeah, except they get to live in mansions.
We're all in this together. Celebrities on their giant yachts, and
That's
us
right.
poor people having a cup to bail out or a little dinghy.
Mm-hmm. Dinghy with a hole in the bottom of it.
Get that duct tape out.
Hey Cletus, it's your turn to get your finger in the hole.
But it's wrinkled. I think a fish may have bit it.
That's okay. It's good for you. It builds character.
I think the tip is missing. All right.
That's not the only tip that's going to be missing here soon.
Oh, God. I knew that was going to go
there. Speaking of, well, not speaking of Windows. I guess speaking of Windows because we talked about it about like 3 topics ago, but Microsoft has finally unveiled, well, not finally, I don't even know if anybody knew this was coming, but they've unveiled the new Windows 10 Start menu design, which I don't think looks really all that different from the old one, but sure, whatever.
It took an animation from Microsoft Design on their Twitter page for me to slightly see the difference between what they called live tiles and this new thing that they're doing. It's like, yeah, I don't think this is really any different. But whatever.
Not really, no. As long as I can still keep dark mode, I don't really care.
Exactly.
I don't use the live tiles anyway. I literally deleted all the live tiles and just made it one, like the regular start menu, like I know and love.
Let's
just
see.
A list of stuff.
How many do I have? I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 6 is 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 tiles. 6 of them are
I can't stand them. I can't stand them. They just look like garbage.
Well, hey, Microsoft has got a solution for you. I still think they're going to look like hard garbage.
More live tiles?
Let's fix the tiles by adding more tiles. That's what
as long as I can keep dark mode and get rid of them still, that's okay with me. You do whatever you want to do, Microsoft. Okay. On to the next. What do we have now?
Well, I guess this is going to have to be the depressing segment of the podcast. It seems no matter what we do, there's always something that happens. We went from avoiding coronavirus topics to laughing at coronavirus topics to realizing that, oh crap, this was a little bit worse than what we anticipated.
Yeah.
To being serious about coronavirus topics and just trying to be non-depressing with them. But this one's a little depressing. Everybody had Easter. Happy Easter, everybody, for those who practice said religion. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it was not a happy Easter for much of the Southeast. there was huge storms rolling through Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. Most of it, thank goodness, missed Middle Tennessee. We got spared this time around because we already had ours for the year. Thank you very much. But Chattanooga, unfortunately, did not. There's at least 9 dead as of right now, anyways. Dozens hospitalized and 150 buildings damaged after a EF3 tornado touched down somewhere in East Chattanooga and then just kept going from there. So it's not good. There was like 60,000 people without power. TVA had posted a Twitter helicopter video of them going down one of their transmission line paths, and I think there was like 7 or 8 towers just completely mowed over in the video, and it was only like a minute long. So they've got their work cut out for them. I'm sorry, Chattanooga. I was hoping you guys would get out of it, but you did not. So 2 EF3 tornadoes in the span of like a month to hit Tennessee. So we're just not having a very good year. I think that's about it. Hopefully everybody's okay, but more cleanup
storms happen. Hopefully, there wasn't. Hopefully the cleanup is easy, even though cleanup is never easy.
No.
Hopefully it's as easy as it can get.
Yeah, well.
And that the people that are affected aren't affected for too long. That's all we can hope for.
Exactly.
All right, so on to something. I think another topic we both laughed at, and then it ended up being way bigger than either of us expected. Disney Plus. I remember when they first announced this, we were both like, "Yeah, we're probably not gonna get this. This looks really dumb." And then I realized that it had an Endgame on it, like the day that it came out, and I was like, "Well, guess they've got my $7 a month." Oh man! So, apparently, Disney has surpassed 50 million subscribers in just 5 months. And this, it seems like, it's not a low number. 50 million subscribers is not a low number by any means. But it seems like it's a, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to say this. It's a crazy number considering that Disney wanted to get 60 to 90 million subscribers by 2024.
Yeah. They wanted 60 to 90, and they're at 50. And they've got, another 3 years to get the rest of that 10? I think they've got it in the bag.
Oh, yeah. No joke. They'll probably be closing in on Netflix numbers at that point. At the rate that they're going, that's 10 million subscribers a month by 2024. They're not going to keep growing at this rate, but let's just say they do. They'll have like 400 or 500 million subscribers. It's ridiculous. Now, will they keep growing at that rate? Probably not. But I think they have a chance of reaching definitely next Netflix competitor status within the next year, maybe 2, without even really trying.
I don't really know how shrunken the market for Disney Plus is at the moment. I know they've gotten a lot of countries. I feel like they're not as worldwide as Netflix is. But considering they started only in the US and slowly expanded out like 14 plus countries.
Yeah.
I think they're doing really, really good.
Oh, yeah.
Now, a lot of this is probably due to everybody sheltering at home and having nothing else to do. But
I'm sure.
I have a feeling that if Netflix doesn't start pumping out good content again, that they might have a little bit of trouble. Speaking of which, I know this wasn't one of our topics, but has anybody else seen that train wreck of Tiger King? Apparently, there's a new episode that's supposed to.
Yeah, we watched it last night.
Oh, is it already out?
Yes, it was so hilarious.
Oh, I'm gonna have to watch it.
Oh man,
the first episode in, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be a train wreck, but what is this? And it's like, the third episode, and I was like, okay, yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I saw all the memes on Facebook, and I was like, this show looks so stupid.
Exactly.
And then my wife was like, hey, I've heard about this show Tiger King. We should watch it. I was like, well, I mean, I guess we don't really have anything else to watch, so we turned it on. The first episode, I was like, what is this? What is this ridiculousness? And then I realized that there were 7 more episodes. I was like, how is it gonna get even weirder from here? And then it did.
Oh, it did.
But I have to say though, I'm glad you brought that up, because going on to your Netflix needs to make better content soon. This is the only Netflix produced thing that I've seen in, I don't know, maybe half a year or so that I've actually liked. The last thing that I watched was that I enjoyed from them was Atypical season 3 that had just popped up.
Haven't seen that. The last thing that I watched from them that I liked is probably Stranger Things.
Yeah, Stranger Things season 3 was really good too.
But I think that's it. Everything else that I really liked went down the toilet really fast. The shows that they brought on to save them that I was going to watch, they ended those. And it's like, well, at this point, do I even bother keeping Netflix? Because it's to the point where it's the last thing I'll turn on and watch if I watch anything. I mean, Hulu and frickin' Disney are going to be the top 2, Hulu being the top, and then everything on Amazon Prime. I find a lot more things on that than I do on Netflix lately. It's like, do I bother?
And Amazon Prime has a leg up, because now you can rent I mean, it's not included in Prime, but you can rent the movies from the theaters now.
Yep. Mm-hmm. But every once in a while, they drop a jewel like Tiger King, and it's like, oh, okay, this is why I have Netflix.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys string me along with that carrot on a stick just long enough to get me something good.
And to be fair, they do have a really, really good selection of movies too. Yeah. But you're not always in the mood for a movie, you know?
No, exactly. So
anyway,
quick question before we go on.
What?
Is Carol Baskin guilty?
Oh, are you joking? Are you kidding me? Yes, 100% she is guilty. 2000. I don't care. I don't care what evidence you bring to the contrary. That lady, where did he go? Tell me. I'm sure that we would have heard something from him if he would have ran away, especially now after all this press. Nah, that man is dead. Yeah. He's been dead a long time.
Yeah.
And you want to know where he is? He's in the ground. He's in some tiger's crap somewhere in the middle of her backyard, decomposed. That's where he is. She is ruthless. She just cut that man up and fed him to the tiger, just like that "Here Kitty Kitty" song. I legit looked that up and listened to that the other day. It is such a strange video and song.
Okay, good. I'm glad we agree. Carol Baskin is guilty.
I don't think there is anybody that's seen that doesn't think that she's guilty.
The memes suggest that would be correct, because they've gotten ruthless on there. It's just like, damn, you guys are savage. That's one person that do you know what this next episode is? No, but I'm going to watch it. I need to know. I didn't know it was out yet, otherwise I would have already.
Okay, so the basic gist of it is it's like an after show, like you know, the 13 Reasons Why thing where they have like a companion show.
Uh-huh.
It's just one episode But have you seen the show Community?
No.
Okay. Well, it's one of the dudes from Community. It's Joe McHale. I think he's got his own Netflix show. But he rounds up a whole bunch of people from the Tiger King show, and he just sits down with them and asks them questions about the show and the background of everything. Mm-hmm. And there's two people, I guess, two people that he wasn't able to talk to that I really wish he would have been able to. Mm-hmm. Carol Baskin and Joe.
He wasn't able to talk to her?
No. I mean, I would assume that he asked, because he got Jeff and Lauren Lowe to talk to him.
Wow,
yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to have a whole conversation piece on this show at some point, because this show just goes everywhere. But we don't have all the time for that tonight. So
okay. So next topic. Let's get away from that before we keep talking about it.
Let's go back to the coronavirus. One of my favorite things about this whole mess has been all of these companies that actually did stuff for non-PR reasons, and that was actually delaying things that they easily just could have held exactly as they were and just done it in a virtual format. Computex being one of them. I think they could have done that with soft launches of everybody just having virtual presentations from their corporate offices or something like that. But on the good side of things, they did that, and I think AMD is going to benefit from it, because I don't know if they would have been ready to have the new CPUs in June for Computex. Mm-hmm. But now it looks like they should have them ready for September, which is when it got rescheduled to. So, talking about 4000 series desktop Zen 3, along with their 4000 series Zen 2 notebook. Hopefully all of that will come out in September. I am so excited to see what they do, because I think this is going to be a very, very good launch for both AMD and Intel. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't get the Intel stuff if what we heard was true about them switching motherboards. Not once, but twice in the same year, but...
Oh, you know it is. You know it is.
It's such bullshit. But, yes, we'll have that, hopefully. And I just can't wait to see what happens. What's next? I think... Oh, right. We was going to do this together, wasn't we?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Alright, one more AMD thing, real quick. Anybody who actually used this, I think this was an excellent idea 5 years ago. That was their Store MI technology. It was basically a caching system that used an SSD to cache all your frequent files from your hard drive, making it super fast, or at least comparably to a hard drive, without having the expensive cost of having terabytes worth of SSD storage, because at the time, 5 years ago, that would have been prohibitively expensive. And even when it launched like 2 years ago, it was still somewhat expensive. I mean, they were about 2 years too late on this product.
Yeah.
They ended life support on it, basically. They pulled the plug March 31st, and they are not allowing anybody to download it. They have no official support for it. It's done in history. So, bye-bye Store MI for anybody that used it. You can still use it. They're not going to deactivate it for those who already had it. They're just not going to offer downloads for anybody who didn't already have it. And they're not going to support it in any way whatsoever. So, no customer support, no more updates, nothing. Nada. Gone. And they're supposed to have its successor ready for maybe Q2 this year. But I doubt it. It'll probably be later this year.
Oh,
Q2
no
seems too early. I would say second half, not second quarter. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Considering they just end of lifed it on March 31st, do you think they're going to have the successor ready in the next 2 months? I don't think so.
No, absolutely not.
So
Okay.
That's it.
So our last topic, last and 100% least, we've got some tidbits about the new products that Apple is planning on launching. So the iPhone, I guess they're probably going to call it the iPhone 12 and the iPhone Pro Max, Pro whatever. They're talking. The rumor is that the successor to the iPhone 11 is going to have the same sort of design language as the iPad Pro does. So it's not going to have like a curved screen like the newer iPhones have. It's going to be more flat. So it looks to me like it's going to be more along the design language of like the iPhone SE than it is a modern iPhone per se, which honestly I like better, TBH. I don't know. I don't really like the curved glass on the iPhones.
I hate how they compared this to the iPhone 5. They're comparing it to the 2018 and 2020 iPad Pro models.
Mm-hmm.
But then it also is comparing it to the iPhone 5, which sounds like it's so out of date and so old at this point. And it sounds like they're making a step back. But honestly, I'm with you. I think it looks better. I don't like the curved glass. I think their rounded edges were a little bit too much. I mean, it gets to the point where why are you doing this to a phone when 90% of people just put a case on the damn thing anyways?
Exactly, yeah.
And it just makes it so hard to hold and makes it slip out of your hands really easy. I mean...
that's what you need the case for, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it's whatever. So... and they're also talking about significant upgrades to the processor aimed at improving the efficiency and speed of both AR and AI tasks. So, whoa, Apple's got some magic spiel coming about their processors again.
Yep.
But
they're still rumored to be releasing a successor to the iPhone SE, also called the iPhone SE, which is based on the iPhone 8. And then the other significant thing this article says is that they're releasing a competitor to Tiles, or planning on releasing a competitor to Tile, which is, for those of you who don't know, it's just like little RFID tags that you can stick to your keys or your wallet or whatever, and it kind of connects to your phone, and it can like buzz where these things are. So it makes it easier to keep track of things if you're somebody like my wife who loses everything all the time. But it's an Apple version, basically, which, you know, woohoo, yay. More stuff that I can only use with an iPhone. Ugh.
Basically.
Yeah.
I don't know why they do things like that, where they can't create anything to branch outside the ecosystem. It all has to be intertwined within the Apple ecosystem. And I know it's for security and blah, blah. It's like, come on. Can't you make something like a good product and let other people have it that aren't?
That would be too hard.
Oh, my God. Whatever.
That's ridiculous. Why would you even suggest something like that? Come on.
I know. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
Okay. So, for our discussion topics, we'll talk about mine first. I think ours are intertwined a little bit, but
a little bit.
So David and I both work at a certain hardware store, which shall not be named. And we are both considered essential workers, so we're still both headed to work, like normal, you know, every day, whatever. And I wanted to talk about specifically, there's a couple a couple of stories that I had today that I wanted to talk about. This, like I said earlier, there's a stay-at-home order for my state, and this just seems to bring out the worst people to this store, whether they need to be there or not. And both of the people that I'm going to talk about 100% did not need to be in the store. So the first one I'm going to talk about, I was on the phone with a customer. Can't even remember what it was about, but I was on the phone asking them questions, writing things down, and this dude, just out of nowhere, comes running up to me, saying that he needs help, yelling at me that he needs help. Did I say anything to him? Nah. Why am I going to acknowledge you when you're acting like a 3-year-old and yelling at me across the store? So he stands there for a few seconds, and then he gets mad and walks away and calls me an asshole. And he goes to find somebody else to harass. And then, as I am getting off the phone, he runs back across the store right in front of my desk, and he yells at me, "Hey, you're a dickhead. Yeah, you're a dickhead." Okay, thanks, guy. Thanks for just shouting that in front of everybody. When I wasn't doing anything except, talking on the phone, very clearly talking on the phone to somebody else. I'm busy. Sorry that your freaking plumbing glue or whatever was super essential and you needed to come into the store for that. So, the next person I want to talk about. Somebody was in my department. I work in the flooring department in my store, which is a very essential department, let me remind you. Uh-huh. She came in looking for tile, was asking me about questions, and there was this one specific tile that, whether or not it makes sense to people, right? We have a system where once we run out of product or once we run very low on product, it reorders itself. This lady could not get it through her skull that I could not manually order this thing for her. I'm like, sorry, that's not how this works. Nobody can do it. It's just how it works. You're just gonna have to wait. If you want this stupid tile, I'll put it on hold for you, and you can come pick it up when it's here. But she didn't like that answer, so she just walked away, and she said she was gonna call my manager in the morning. These people just it brings out the worst in me. It really does, because I don't like I don't like thinking the worst about people, and I try to be nice, but good God, some people just flip the bitch switch right away, and they don't turn it off. So what am I inclined to do? I'm inclined to turn the bitch switch right back on. Myself. Sorry. If you wanted help, maybe you should have been a little bit nicer. Go somewhere else.
So, what you're saying is that it's probably a safe thing to say that these are not the average customers.
Oh,
these
no,
are
these
the
are
super helpless, totally asinine dickheads that just had to get out of the house because, oh my, I don't have anything to do, so I'm going to retile my floor and then paint after that. Because, oh boy, do I already know. Because I am also the very essential paint department.
Yeah,
Glory be.
The most essential department in the store.
I finally got back to my favorite department and actually got to go back to paint. Because, oh boy, you guys were about ready to piss me off with the damn appliances. About had a damn conniption fit in the middle of the store one night because this guy decides he wants a freezer. a week after everybody else in the damn country decided they needed a fucking freezer to hoard all their meat
So
that they took off the shelves.
Mm-hmm.
Comes in and decides to give me the BS story of, I need a freezer. I'm working with the health department. I'm performing the COVID test.
The what?
The COVID testing.
Excuse me? What does that even mean? I need to test your freezers for the coronavirus just to make sure they work. Let me take one home for free.
No, they were. I think he said something about needing to store them in there or something like that. Literally 5 minutes later, says something about needing it for extra meat in his house.
Huh.
Didn't even call him out on that, because at this point, I'd already wasted 10 minutes of my precious time explaining to him, I'm out. I've been out. Everybody and their mother decided they needed freezers a week ago. You're a little late on this. They got the freezers right after they ran us out of fucking toilet paper.
Mm-hmm.
Finally get to go back to my paint department. Thank the Lord. Get sick. Have to stay home because somebody else in my house got sick. Had to quarantine. And I've been back for a whole 2 blessed days. And I already feel like I've been back for a fucking month.
Oh, you and me both.
Needy,
let me tell you.
They're greedy. They're being the most selfish assholes around. I need this. I need that. Demanding it when I don't have it. It's like you and everybody else bought $50,000 worth of freaking paint in the last week. I'm out of stain. I don't have any fucking stain left. We're out. We're completely out of the Valspar, and we're almost out of Cabot. We're out of the damn Eagle stuff. It's all gone. It's like, what are you people doing? You're supposed to be staying home. But no. And then I go out on the roads, and guess what? The fucking roads are empty. But it seems like everybody that is on the road has been at blessed home improvement stores, because the store feels like 100%. It's busier than ever.
100%. It's Walmart and home improvement stores. You go to Home Depot, their parking lot is full. You go to our parking lot. I just gave away where we worked, but whatever. You go to our parking lot. It's full. It's so stupid. Why are you coming to home improvement stores? Just because we're the only things open.
Because everybody and their mother wants to paint, and everybody wants to put new floors in.
Stay at home.
I don't understand.
That's what the stay-at-home order is for. I don't care if you have to watch Tiger King again. Tiger King is much better than going to a store and buying paint and putting everybody else at risk. Yeah. Yes, I agree. It is great that I still have a job. It is fantastic. I am glad that I am not one of those people having to file for unemployment. However, that does not give you an excuse to come into the store and stand right next to me and breathe your germs in my face just to ask me if I have a tile. When I've told you 6 times that no, I don't. And no, I'm not going to go get it for you from a store that's 6 hours away. Sorry, my bad. It's not really all that essential. Who'd have thunk?
Oh God, don't tell him that. I literally had somebody say, you know this is essential, right? I literally had to look him in the face and go, I'm sorry, at what point is paint going to save your house from burning down or save your house from flooding because it's either an electrical part or a plumbing part? Your flour is not important. Don't you dare put that flour on my countertop. I'm just going to have to clean it down again.
Mm-hmm.
Putting crap on the dang counter. I'm with you. I'm glad I have a job. Thank you very much. I don't have to go on unemployment. I don't have to worry about how I'm going to pay my bills.
Mm-hmm.
But good God, that doesn't mean I have to suffer these idiots that are coming in, because it's just those. It's not the nice people. Good God, no. If that was the case, I wouldn't have a thing to bitch about.
No.
It's the most arrogant people I've ever seen, and they're one after another, and I don't know if I can do it anymore. I'm frazzled to my wit, and I've been back for 2 whole fucking days. And I'm already just ready to, like, ugh. I can't. You've been back a week. I don't know how you're doing it.
I have no idea. I'm about ready to kill some people. I am much better than what I was when I took the 2 weeks. But let me tell you, it is it's getting hard not to strangle some people, let me tell you. Before we continue on to your discussion topic, there's one thing, I think it was a status that I saw earlier on Facebook that I want to bring up if I can find it real quick.
Please tell me it's the Suicide Squad.
Essential workers sounds so lame. From this day forward, we shall be known as the Suicide Squad.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's kind of what it feels like.
Yeah.
It really does. So moving on.
No, well, not really, because it kind of just rolls straight into this topic, too. Did we try to restart and reboot 2020 yet? What?
I don't know.
We do? Who did what? What Satanist opened the gates of hell to make 2020 the way it has been? What did we do to fuck this up and piss it off? Because it's been one thing after another. Australia about ready to burn down to the ground. Okay,
you want to know what my theory is?
Go for it. I'm afraid.
4 years ago, we elected the stupidest man in the country into the office of the president.
You went into
this,
didn't you?
This is some higher power reminding us that if we do this again, we will all die. We've survived the last 4 years. God only knows how. But if we elect him into office again, nobody's going to survive. He's going to... I'm surprised that he hasn't shot a nuclear missile at North Korea yet. God knows he's probably thought about it. I hate to get political, but like legit, what else could it be?
I don't know. I don't know what we did, but let's see. We had Australia burn into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
We've had COVID the entire year at this point.
Yeah.
Not necessarily here in the U.S. for the entire year, but it's been around since like December 31st.
Mm-hmm.
Definitively, anyways. I mean, I think it's been around longer than that, but who the heck knows at this point? What did we do? It's just been nonstop. This is just the first quarter of the dang year. What are we going to have when summer comes along? Damn sun's probably going to burn half of North America straight to the ground because it's so damn hot or something. What is it, like 90 degrees down there already?
Let me see. Right now at 10 o'clock at night, we're 83 outside.
Oh my god. And it's literally like
Isn't it
the
great?
second week of April.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Gotta love it.
It was like freezing last night here. Well, not last night, the night before. It's like a polar opposite. Tomorrow's high is supposed to be 49 degrees and the low is supposed to be 27. I don't get it. What did we do?
Listen, I don't even know. I don't know. I don't even want to think about it anymore. All right, we're gonna move on before I pull some of my hair out. Our final section of the show. We've brought some trailers that we're gonna watch. Basic gist of this section is we're gonna watch the trailers. We're gonna let you know whether we think we're gonna see it in theaters or we're gonna wait for an Amazon rental. Although we might need to change this.
I don't know if we're going to be able to see any of these in the theaters. The shit keeps going.
We might need to change this rating system soon. But for now, no matter the verbiage we're using, the point that we're making still stands. We're going to say whether we're going to go see it in the theater or they're going to wait for rental on Amazon. So we've got, I think, like 6 different trailers. The first one we're going to watch is for Extraction.
This is an extraction.
So who are the players?
Biggest drug lord in India versus biggest drug lord in Bangladesh.
Some mythic shit, huh?
It's a kidnapping. Drug lord's son. Clock's running at 16 hours. Proof of life as of 6 hours ago.
survive, you do exactly as I say.
Who are you?
Name?
Ovi.
Move fast, stay low.
Something's wrong. The city's on lockdown.
Yeah, no shit.
The job is fucked, Tyler. Tyler.
Just find my money. That kid is a walking corpse, and there's no way to protect him.
You have a family.
Yeah, son. He died a few years ago.
The best thing you could do for that kid would be to put a bullet in his brain.
We can send a chopper and get you out. But you gotta leave the kid behind.
Are you gonna leave me in the street?
I'll get you home.
Oh my fucking god, yes.
That looks so cool. I'm so down for this.
Yes. Okay, so, disclosure. It's on Netflix, guys. So,
Yes.
it cannot qualify for the go see it in the movie, but hell yes, I would go see this in the movie theaters.
Oh, 100%. I'm watching this as soon as it comes out.
Oh, yes.
The minute
This
it comes
looks
out.
Fucking amazing. I love it.
It looks so. I was excited when I saw it. Chris Hemsworth, but now you've got Joe and Anthony Russo.
Exactly. I was like,
involved in
oh,
it.
how could you make it any better? And it's like, yes, you
please. Okay, so next movie we've got is How to Build a Girl.
How much longer am I going to have to be here? I need your help. I want to burn. I want to explode. I want to have sexual intercourse. Someone who has a car. What's a car?
Stop moping. Try this. They're looking for writers to be a rock critic.
I'm Johanna Morrigan. I have an interview for the job. Did you think my writing was good?
It's not really us.
Not cool.
Darling, rooms like that need girls like you.
Come on, let's go.
Good God, it's a child catcher.
Johanna Morrigan is dead. This is the legendary Dolly Wilde. Last night, rock and roll meant nothing to me. By midnight, it was the most important thing in the world.
That is not what I expected from that title, let me tell you.
No.
But it is kind of interesting.
I'm a sucker for these like weird coming of age sort of movies, so I'm down for this. I think I would go see this in the theater.
I don't know if I'd see it in the theater. Well, okay, maybe. It just depends.
I would definitely go see it with my wife. She likes these sort of movies too, so.
Yeah, I could see that. But it's definitely interesting.
Oh yeah, 100%. Okay, so our next movie is Last Moment of Clarity.
I saw something that I wasn't supposed to see, and they sent those two guys over to our apartment. Georgia! I've been hiding in Paris ever since.
Sam, you must get out there and do something. You waste all your time on that internet, cutting up those newspapers and putting them together. Whatever it was, it's been over.
Georgia. It's her. I have to find out.
Find out what?
If they're the same person. Georgia! Georgia!
Sam Pivnik.
Catherine?
Oh, it's Kat now.
This is gonna sound the same. I think Georgia's alive.
So Georgia died in a fire.
I think she changed her look completely. Dyed her hair, removed her tattoos. She goes by Lauren Clark now. Are you Georgia?
All right. I don't know who you are.
I know you.
I'm the guy.
What did you do?
I'm on a mob hit list. If they found me here, they'll find us anywhere.
Finish the job.
I like this.
Yeah, so do I.
I like this a lot.
So it seems like this is another case of it not being available in the theaters. Don't know if that's because of the coronavirus or if it's it was always planned to be this way, but this looks good.
Yeah.
It looks really good. I'm super down for this. All right, let's see if we can keep this string of good trailers going with Stray Dolls.
Now we're ready.
Who are you? You like Mexican or something?
Been saving to get out of this dump, and you're gonna help me.
Jimmy and I, we got a plan. Simple, easy. Like drugs.
It's gone.
The whole brick.
I'm not doing anything criminal. Are you calling me a criminal?
Hey, I'm going out on a limb here for you. You in or not?
I'm not doing it.
Okay, how do you think we're gonna get out of here then? Folding sheets? This is America. You want the rainbow, you gotta put up with the rain.
If we're doing this, we have to do it right.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not as down for this as I was for the last three, but it does seem interesting. I think this is probably going to be I don't know. I don't honestly know if I'm going to see this. It's interesting, but I don't know. Probably a rental, honestly. If I had to pick, definitely a rental.
This falls in the category of I couldn't find anything else to watch, and this was on.
Yeah, exactly. I'm honestly not huge into like these crime drama sort of things. Like a thriller or whatever, I'm down for that all day. And maybe even something like this wrapped up as a thriller, but this just seems, I don't know. This seems a little bit too gratuitous for my taste, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so next we've got a trailer for Minions: The Rise of Gru.
They're ready to see you, Mr. Gru.
Oh, good. Great. Here we go. Distinguished villains, my name is Gru. I feel like I'm talking too loud even though our proximity doesn't require this kind of volume.
You seriously think a puny little child can be a villain?
Yes, I am pretty despicable. You don't want to cross me?
Come back when you've done something evil to impress me. He took a stone! There's that little thief! Go, go, go!
Otto, take the stone back to the lair. I'll distract them.
I'll handle this!
This is the biggest day of my life. This kid just stole something from the worst villains in the world.
Time to strike!
Now I will be a super villain.
I know it's a kids movie, but I really like it.
It does seem very funny. It's probably going to be a rental again, but
yeah,
it does seem very funny.
But I think it's a must watch.
I genuinely hope that this is actually funny instead of being just extremely stupid like the last 16 Despicable Me movies have been.
Yeah, I know. Kind of gives me a little bit of hope.
Yeah. All right, so the very last trailer we've got is for The Night Clerk.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. You're new here, right?
Yes, I work the night shift. My name is Bart.
Well, it's very nice meeting you, Bart.
What?
It's nice to meet you.
Sorry, I have to practice what to say. Hey, how you doing? I watch people, and I imitate.
You watch people?
Well, I study them.
Yeah, well, I guess you have a lot of people to watch at the hotel.
Yes, I do.
We have a dead woman here, and I think Bart knows something about that. We found your fingerprints all over the room.
This is a fragile boy, and you need to understand that.
Look, I know you got issues, but you're hiding something. That's what I really believe, Bart.
I drove home and I watched TV.
You're a very smart guy, and yet what you're saying to me doesn't make sense.
You know, you can tell me anything, honey.
He has kind of an odd way about him.
But, you know, that doesn't mean he did anything, does it?
Oh God, oh God, oh God. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
Bart, what did you do? What did you do? What did you do, Bart?
Oh my God. What did you do?
This just straight up reminds me of Norman Bates.
Yeah, I guess a little bit. I don't know. This seems like it's going to be kind of predictable. I don't think he did anything, honestly.
No, I don't think so either, but I do want to see it.
Yeah, this is probably going to be another rental for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it is super interesting though. Okay, I think that's where we're going to leave this episode, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to leave a rating on whatever podcasting platform you're listening on, and tweet it at us, and we'll read it out on the next episode of the show. Till next time, bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks for listening to this episode of Podcast Period. This episode was hosted and produced by Ben, co-hosted and edited by David. You can contact Ben on Twitter at BenPlaysVidjas. That's Ben Plays VIDYAS. And you can contact David on Twitter at Carsickspy16. If you'd like to chat with us about any of the topics on this episode, you can hit the show up at Podcast Period on Twitter, or shoot us an email at podcastperiodpodcast@gmail.com. Want to do more for the show, but aren't sure how? We have Patreon for that. For as little as $1 a month, we can get you early access to episodes and so much more. And support the show while doing it. Just go to patreon.com/podcastperiod. That's all for this episode. We'll see you next time.
This was a Nerdgasm podcast production.
Well, that was another in a long series of regrettable life choices.
Served at nerdgasmpodcast.com.